Hey guys, quick disclaimer. The Nosy Hens podcast talks about content that is not suitable for children and might bring you some discomfort too. This includes violence and abuse of all kinds, strong language, and graphic descriptions. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chicken Coop. A-Rain lit right now. You know what? You ain't gonna be able to take A-Rain today. I can tell. I can tell. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Chicken Coop.
Hey guys, hi. We missed you. So hi.
You're listening to the Nosy Hens podcast. I'm one of your favorite nosy hens. You could call me Jazz.
Girl and guys,
Roosters.
and them and days, roosters and hens.
Yeah.
I'm A-Rain. I'm lit off Dunkin' Donuts. Everything bagel stuff thing.
Yeah, stuffed bagels, everything bagels. Those
Yes.
things are delish.
Yes,
And
look,
we
I
are
keep
not
on-
sponsored currently by Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay, look, we gonna speak that into existence.
Currently, right?
Okay, because as soon as I leave from here, look, Jazzy was nice to give me the 2 dot things. Now when I leave from here, I gotta go get 2 more.
2 dot thing.
And the avocado toast.
With the tomato on it.
No.
You don't like it with tomatoes?
I don't like that tomato stuff. That's a little too
Oh my gosh.
tomato.
Girl.
I don't like that. But I like it with the bacon, but I don't want the bacon. I just want the avocado, and then I want these everything. Anything that's everything but the bagel that's savory that is supposed to be on.
Right.
I want it.
Lord have mercy.
But I know Crumble Cookie a couple weeks ago had the
Ooh,
everything
you know what?
cookie.
I ain't never had crumble cookie before.
You know what?
I look at their menu every week and never get crumble cookie.
People have been going in on Crumble Cookie. I had them once. They wasn't too bad. No, they weren't warm cookies. They are a little undercooked in the middle.
I
But
like an
don't care.
undercooked cookie.
Right. I'll try my best. I don't like
Give
crunch
me that
cookies.
chew
Okay.
up in the middle.
Okay. So, y'all, today's going to be a little different.
Why is today going to be a little different?
Because we're going to be discussing like the new Netflix show Dahmer came out. Okay. So everyone was talking about it, and I had no intentions on watching it because I'm like, oh, it's another Dahmer
I really
movie.
Dahmer has been done a Dahmer of times.
Okay. And how many times is that? A lot.
A lot.
Okay. And multiply that times 2 divided by 0.8.
Yeah.
And then that's still too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too many.
So I had no intentions on watching it.
A-Rain talked me into it, y'all.
Yes. Yes. So we just gonna be honest with you because we didn't have the intentions on watching it. It's gonna be a little scatterbrained today because we did want to at least bring some of our opinion
Yeah.
to it.
We're talking about the first 1 through 3.
Yeah, episodes 1 through. So we're gonna break this thing up. And honestly, y'all might just get just this 1 through 3, okay? Y'all might just get it because it's been done. It's been said. There's think pieces everywhere. You can look on YouTube. Okay. All right. You can look on the YouTubes. You can look at the court cases.
Mm-hmm.
I, for one, just wanted to be sensitive to the families that are still traumatized by this.
Yeah. And you know what? What I'm going to say out the gate. Now, I've only watched episodes 1 through 3.
Yes.
But so far, the series is not being sensitive to the families.
Yeah.
Because they're glossing over the victims. All of the victims have been glossed over. But they're humanizing Dahmer and wanting you to feel sorry for Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm picking up.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, this is a series about Jeffrey Dahmer, not about Dahmer's victims. Otherwise, the show would have been called Dahmer's Victims.
Right.
But at the same time, you could at least spend a little bit more time on these victims, and if you humanize them at least as much as you're humanizing Dahmer.
Right. What I heard was that they wanted to, I guess, as far as still telling this story or interpreting it this way, was to bring some kind of attention to the people that were around the situation,
like the neighbor,
the neighbor that Niecy Nash played.
Yes,
but they wanted
playing that role very well.
Yes, I love my auntie Niecy Nash. Like, she is my auntie in my head. Okay, hey Auntie Niecy, hey girl. But I think they were trying to like bring attention to
parents
that too.
And
they wanted to, and then also just like how the police department wasn't listening to what the neighbors were saying, because there were just complaints. Like the character that Niecy Nash plays, I forgot her name, but it was based off, I came across, so her character had been calling the cops and complaining about like a smell in their apartment. And there was a scene, I think it was episode 1.
It was a prelude to what that was right after he got caught, right?
Yes. And they were talking about how like this was episode 2 when Conorak, when he had attacked Conorak or whatever, and then they were like, hey, can we go look in your apartment or whatever? And then they like asked him like, hey, what's a guy like you living in this?
That pissed me off,
it's a lot
because
of
first of all, it wasn't a lot of crackheads. You know what he was saying. What's a guy like you, a white man, living in this building with a bunch of blacks? Let's just keep it real.
So that pissed me off. Even the thing like with homophobia.
Yeah, then he was like, are we going to catch something?
Yes.
By going into his apartment.
The whole thing with homophobia, and then with them being so uncomfortable, they quickly left Conorak in the hands of Dahmer.
Yes.
They quickly left, it's a boyfriend thing.
Yeah, and that's some bull crap too. You saw this dude, he did not look drunk. He looked completely out of it. There's a difference.
Yes.
Number 1. Number 2, they went in to look at the photos to verify that he lived in that house with Dahmer. They didn't look at no photos.
They didn't look at in the thing. They were like, here's pictures. See, he's my boyfriend. Those Polaroids that he had took.
Yeah.
But it's like y'all didn't see
that he looked out of it then.
So y'all just thinking, so just this whole, so today's episode, even though we're further into it, today's episode, I guess, will be more so like a rant or just like a whatever. We still gonna have fun with it, but I just think it's just, now I feel like American society, they glamorize white male murderers.
Yes.
And you know what? In looking at this, I was like, Dahmer is nothing but Albert Fish.
Right.
He just wasn't sticking pins in his dang on pelvis.
Yeah, he was just more so.
He was just killing people.
Okay, well, let's just start from the beginning where you said what's the guy's name that got away? I thought his name was Tracy. Okay,
yeah.
Tracy.
So Conorak is the 14-year-old
boy. Okay.
So Tracy was in the first episode.
Right.
Dahmer, of course, is a gay man, and he would frequent this gay bar, and he would like buy the guys drinks. I think he was trying to do that to Bill's, because he was socially awkward. Yeah, he was grooming and trying to get people comfortable with him. And as soon as he got them to his house, he would go ahead and do what he needed to, or what he wanted to do with them. Right. So in the first episode, from what I'm remembering just from my memory, he went to this bar. There was Tracy, but it was like two other guys that were like flirting with him. You know, Tracy was flirting with him and the two other guys. And so he had bought the guys, you know, all drinks like beers and stuff. And then him and Tracy danced, and then they talked. And then he invited Tracy back to his house so that they could, I guess, party or, you know, do whatever, spend a little bit more time. And then eventually Tracy found himself in a situation where it became very uncomfortable. Now, I was on edge. It was making my anxiety rise because you already know this is a story about Dahmer. So you know that he's about to go Dahmer somebody. That's what he about to go do. So we already know.
Right.
So when Tracy, this is what made me uncomfortable. And I think it's more so for movie's sake. I want to go watch Tracy's actual trial because they have his court TV case on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I think for just movie dramatics, theatrical dramatics, they had him go and there was like a big old blood spot.
Right.
On the mattress.
Right.
Mattress wasn't covered, like none of it.
Right.
And he still sat on the mattress?
Well, no, he didn't see the blood spot until Dahmer had him lay down.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. But still.
Yeah.
But he was trying to get up out of there, and Dahmer was like, everyone always leaves me.
Right. And I think also by that time, wasn't he starting to feel woozy? Because
no, so Tracy, he didn't roofie Tracy.
He didn't.
Not that he roofied.
I know, but he had stirred something in Tracy's drink too. I thought.
Girl, I don't even remember. Y'all see how it's like we invested, but we ain't really invested, but we kind of invested, but we ain't really invested, but we kind of wanted to give some kind of something, but for real. So don't be mad at us if this is the only Dahmer that y'all get, because damn that Dahmer, okay? Man. Damn that Dahmer. So I don't remember him stirring anything in Tracy, because Tracy was still like.
No, yeah, you're right. You know what? Tracy did have his wits about him.
Yeah, Tracy still had his wits about him, and he started getting uncomfortable when Dahmer was like pulling out that big old knife and was like, doing weird stuff, and he was like, oh.
So that's when Tracy got smart, though. Tracy got smart and started to play along with this and say, you know, be seductive and, he was like, you wanted to take pictures, didn't you? Because that was another thing. He was lying and was like, yeah, I like to take pictures. When Dahmer would go out and try to lure these men in, it was, I like to take pictures and, you know, artsy stuff. And he wasn't taking no pictures. I mean, he was, because he was using them as trophies. Mm-hmm. But he was just doing Polaroid pictures. Yeah. So, like Jazz said, Tracy got real smart and was like, let me try to do this. And then let me tell you, like, he had him go in a room for something. And he was trying to get that knife. And then Dahmer came back out and he was like, oh. So he has to get real, like, that's
smart.
The thing, like, you know, I always often think about, well, I don't often think about, don't think I'm weird, but when I watch movies and stuff like that, I think about what I would do if I'm in that situation. And if you're in a situation like that where you already know that you cannot overpower the person, and you know that they have the upper hand by any means, if they're bigger than you, if they have a weapon and you don't, anything like that, I think your best bet is to start off complying with what it is that they are trying to get you to do, like, to a certain extent. I mean, if you know, if they start trying to rape you, fight with all your might. Yeah. But if you feel like you can outsmart them, especially Dahmer, he just seemed like he was out of his brain.
He was always drunk, and he was probably also doing drugs too. Yeah, because he did look very much so out of it, completely. But he still had his I guess wits about him.
Yeah, if you feel like you can kind of outsmart them there, then do that. Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna sit up there and, you know, Well, I would say nobody's gonna sit up there and victim blame you, because there was this
Right.
recent situation where a woman was in a cab with a cab driver, and a cab driver locked her in.
What?
Yeah, this is recently. Cab driver locked her in, and he's like, "Please, can I just get 5 minutes with you and make you feel good and blah blah blah."
What?
And so she was locked in. She didn't have a weapon. So what she did was pretended like she was gonna negotiate prices with him and things like that. And she was just like, well, it'll be such and such amount for you to just, because he was like, okay, if I let you go, because she's like, I gotta go get to work. He's like, if I let you go, how do I know that this isn't gonna happen? And he's like, let me just see one of your breasts just to have insurance. And he's like, I'll pay you for that too. So she's just negotiating with him and all this, but she did not show him her breast, because he lowballed her, and she's like, no, it's gonna be this amount. But the point of the matter is, she, played along with him, and she left with her life.
Yeah.
But when she exposed this on TikTok, people were like, why are you sitting up there engaging with him? Like, totally victim blaming.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, is that, don't worry about, how it's going to look.
Right.
If it's going to look like you're going to live,
okay,
that's the best look for you.
Okay. And Tracy did what he has to do. And there was a part before he completely escaped. He did, he was able to fight Dahmer off and get out. Now, the thing with that dang on door, that was pissing me off. But it seemed like it played to the advantage of Jeffrey, because it did get stuck,
right?
Like that latch would get stuck on that door, so it was hard for people to.
This part dramatization, because what pisses me off. This happens in all kinds of movies.
Yeah,
you hit the bad guy once and then just try and leave. Like, if you hit him and he down, keep on hitting him. Keep hitting him until he's completely incapacitated.
Do you know that brains would be on the floor?
Exactly.
Do you know that I wouldn't stop until I heard a crunch of that skull?
Exactly. Now, that's not me trying to shame Tracy, but I'm just saying,
but you got to do more than one hit.
Right.
You got to do. We didn't learn from Jason and from Freddy and from Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You got to set them niggas on fire.
Exactly.
Okay? For them to kind of slow down a little bit.
One hitter quitter.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So when he came out, he runs out, and Niecy Nash, the neighbor, she sees him. And then she sees, Dahmer, and then she hurries up and goes back into her apartment. But he runs out the apartment. He's like, he's trying to kill me. And he still had the handcuffs on. So he's running down the street trying to he's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Because one part that I left out was in the beginning of that episode, they were showing posters of missing black men.
Yeah.
And so when he was coming down the alley, cops were coming down, and they see a black man running down the alley. And in what I interpreted their encounter as being was, this nigga is running from something that he did. What did he do? Why is he running? So they stopped, and he's like, he's trying to kill me. But he did what we're raised and traumatized into knowing how to do when it comes to interacting with cops. Stop, put your hands behind your head, just go ahead and drop to the ground. Let them just ask you questions, and it'll get taken care of, I guess, correctly. I guess. Sometimes, supposedly, allegedly.
Right.
But they saw him with the handcuffs. He took them back to Dahmer. And Dahmer, so I came across a BuzzFeed Unsolved episode of this psychologist talking about the psychology, I guess, of Jeffrey Dahmer. That part that he was talking about when Tracy went and told the cops and the cops came, Dahmer, he said by this time was just kind of he didn't care if he got caught. He knew that he was going to, as soon as them cops came to his house and then stepped inside, he was like, okay.
Yeah. It
wasn't really a fight. I know in the movie it was Jeffrey was trying to run, but the psychiatrist or psychologist was like, He didn't even try to fight because he knew that his time was up and he kind of just wanted to die anyway. He I guess was feeling bad or something. I don't know. I don't know how you feel bad. You can kill 16 people, but with no remorse. But
another thing, like, is that protocol for you to be like, help, somebody just did this to me, and the cops to take you back to that place?
That's what I don't know, because I was thinking, why did he take them back? But I guess he went with them so he can show them.
Yeah, because he probably didn't know the address or whatever.
Yeah, so he needed to show them, because if he didn't say anything, then it would have been more people out there that, Dahmer would have attacked. But I don't think it's protocol to, be like, well, this young man said.
A different way that could have been handled.
Yeah, it could have been. So they went on, lock him up. They call his dad. And I read in one of the articles that Jeffrey's dad was like a strong, like, devout Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't approve of Jeffrey's homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't approve of Jeffrey's drinking. And, he just didn't really approve of the lifestyle that Jeff was, or Jeffrey, I don't want to, that nigga was living. So, he came off like really cold and hard when he came down to the police station, and was questioned. And it was a scene where when, like, the cops told him everything, he was just kind of like straight faced. And then when they walked out, he like was like having a breakdown, but he was like holding in his breakdown.
Right.
So I'm like, does the dad just not care, or does he care? I don't know. That's a white people problem, and I don't know nothing about that. But he was like straight, and then got himself back together.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is he had been dealing with Jeff for a long time, and probably was kind of numb to his weirdness.
He was. He was.
And also probably I know he knew that his son was messed up, because he had been messed up since childhood with what was going on. And that's why that's why I don't even want to say that, because that humanizes him.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, that's just from the father's point of view. So maybe that's it. And also maybe he just, I'm a man, I can't really,
Yeah, I can't show emotion. Now, one thing that this series is doing a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah.
So it flashes back to the past and then comes up to that current time.
Right.
To give, I guess, some kind of explanation or humanization, as Jazz is saying, to Jeffrey on why he was. It was showing how he was socially awkward. It was showing how his mom and dad didn't have a really great marriage, because the mom was, I think she was like abusing drugs, but they were around the time where women didn't really have a say so with their body, because it was one part in the movie where the dad was like, you know what would do you some good? Lobotomy.
Oh, yeah.
Had told the mom that. And she was probably dealing with like some kind of depression or, you know, some kind of something, but they're quick to Band-Aid, get the fuck on. Like, that's what they quick to do.
Yeah.
So he would see his parents argue, and then it would make him lonely, and then his dad was real cold towards him. The mom didn't seem like she was very warm and welcoming, because I don't remember seeing
she had postpartum.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing any, scenes of her being like, come on, Jeff.
No.
Mom loves it. It just seemed like both parents were kind of cold and standoffish towards him.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I guess, made his social awkwardness more so, because he didn't know how to communicate. But then, so I think about episode 2 is when the dad introduced him to taxidermy.
Right.
And he started learning about, like, how to deal with dead things, and he really piqued the interest. And there was one part where the mom was like, that's really morbid, you like, we probably shouldn't be talking to him. And the dad was like, well, he's interested in it.
Yeah, he was just happy that his son found something that he was interested in. Yes. And that begins his fixation with dead things.
Yes. Now, this takes me back to a question that you had asked when we did the episode about Albert Fish, about behaviors being taught, or cultivated, or just it being a natural thing.
Yeah.
And with this Dahmer story, I think with his dad introducing him, I guess it's just a case-by-case scenario. With his dad introducing him to, oh, here's some dead stuff, and you can fiddle-faddle with dead things, that made the fascination grow.
Yeah.
Because as we saw with Albert Fish, he had to progress. To get more pleasure, he had to progress more to extreme measures. And the same with Dahmer.
Right.
He started off with dead animals, then it went to bigger things.
Right.
And then, so with that being said, I was looking at something else. Oh no, it was the psychology interview again on BuzzFeed. He was talking about him being social, like his social awkwardness, and how he felt comfortable with things that were dead,
right?
Because they wouldn't make fun of him. Because as we saw when he got older, kids would make fun of him, or they only wanted to talk to him to have him do something stupid,
right?
So that they can go laugh at him,
right? But dead things wouldn't do that.
Dead things wouldn't do that to him. So in his mind, it wasn't a thing of, and this is what the psychiatrist or the psychologist is saying, in his mind, these dead things they were his friends. They were his friends. So he had like this picture drawn out of skulls, and I don't know if y'all know, but what I remember, they were saying he was collecting skulls. He had a bunch of, when the cops came in,
boxes of different body parts.
Yes, he had boxes of different body parts, and he collected skulls because what he wanted to do was build this table that had skulls lined up on the tables, and I think it was going to be like a dead corpse here and a dead corpse on each end, and then he would sit like in the middle, but he said he would have some kind of power because he would be sitting with all of his friends. This was what he drew this picture out, and he said he wanted to do that. Now, I try my best with my children to make sure that they are socialized with other kids. We talk to our children. We do activities, and we have play dates, and we, do a bunch of different things to where socialization can happen.
Right.
Because I don't want either of my kids being like, Mommy, look at my friend, and it's a dead cat.
Well, see, and now, but then on the other side of the coin, I only socialize as much as I have to. And, and I'm okay with being alone as much as I need to be.
But you grew some kind of you have some kind of social maturity level.
Right.
Him, on the other hand, it was like, girl,
yeah,
where did you learn how to socialize?
Right.
Where did you learn? So it was like he was mimicking. When he would lure these men in, he would like mimic like what he saw or what he thought that they wanted to hear. So it seemed like he knew what he was talking about, so that they can come to his house.
Right. Well, then there's also that, like, that happens in a lot of sociopathy too. Is that?
Oh, he was diagnosed with that.
Was it? Okay. Sociopathy and narcissistic personality disorder too. If in those things, you don't have your own personality. So you are going to mimic others' personality because that's kind of how you like survive as a human being with no personality.
Right.
So yeah, so he did that.
Sis was messed up. So just with that whole thing of not knowing how to like socialize with your peers, I don't know. He felt safe with just dead people though. That was the thing. Also in episode 2, this is where we come across Conorak sympathizone. It's like sympathizone symphony. I'm jacking up the name. I can't even.
Is Conorak right?
Conorak is right.
Okay, let's just keep it at Conorak.
Conorak. I came across another article that said, and this is crazy. It's either the world is just very small or it wasn't a coincidence that this happened. Conorak's brother. Let me pull it up. I have my notes right here. Conorak's brother had an encounter with Dahmer.
Yeah, he talked about that in the he's like, you don't know who I am? I'm the guy's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Every time I hear about, because I heard someone told me like years ago about Dahmer letting go, or one of his victims escaping and then the cops taking him back, which was Conorak. But no one, that person didn't have all the details. They didn't tell me that Conorak was like 14, and they also didn't know that Conorak's brother.
So let's just put that out there, that in addition to being a serial killer, Jeffrey Dahmer was also a pedophile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because that, once again, social maturity level. So he had the encounter with Conorak's brother. His brother did get away, but Conorak, Dahmer drilled a hole in his head and poured like acid and because he was trying to make him into a zombie. So that's why when he came outside, he was like incoherent.
I can't believe he was still alive.
Yeah, it was like diluted acid.
Oh my gosh,
because
bro.
There was a scene when he was younger and his dad was telling him about the animals and stuff,
and how they did the frog.
Yes, and he was saying where they're kind of like they're still breathing and alive, but they just die slower.
I ain't gonna talk about his dad in a bad way because his dad didn't do it, but his dad had a lot to do with helping him.
Yep.
Helping him in his later years. I'll just say that.
So Conorak's brother had the encounter with Dahmer in 1988, September 1988. And his name is, I think, Somak. Somak, he was only 13. He was 13. He was persuaded into Dahmer's apartment for money, which with Conorak, that's what happened. But he was going to take those dang on nude photos because their family was struggling. So Somak was drugged. He was reportedly drugged, and then he was sexually abused before he escaped.
And you know what?
And he was arrested for that. Dahmer was arrested for that too.
For Conorak, that you got to be at an extreme level of desperation.
Yeah.
To know, that your brother was put into a crazy and scary position, and now you're about to be put into a crazy and scary position, knowing that the exact same thing could happen to you.
Yep.
But you're like, my family really needs the money.
Yep.
That's very sad.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Conorak did not escape, and he became one of Jeffrey's.
I want to know what them two darn officers thought when they found out that they led a victim back to his death.
Probably,
but you know what? Probably with the acid he might have been gonna die.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that doesn't make. I'm not saying that as an excuse. I'm just saying I just wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing that I took somebody right back to their
that's
death.
because you have moral standards. I feel like they don't.
Those cops,
they were just getting a check.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, that was a person of color. And also, they were also a homosexual. So, they probably just did not give
So, once again, the whole homophobic thing, because when he came up, and that was, there's a difference between I don't know, because
there is a different smell.
There's a different smell between bad meat.
Yeah.
And a dead thing.
I have heard countless cops say, when you smell the smell of a dead body, you will never be able to mistake that smell for anything else.
And can you imagine the people that live? That's an apartment building.
Yeah.
That air, especially the neighbor, Niecy Nash's character, she's right next door. The bacteria that's in the health issues that you're smelling that stuff.
Yeah.
You're smelling that stuff. And that just lets me know that the housing authority or whoever the landlord was or the owner of that building, they didn't give two shits about those people that lived in that apartment if for months they had been like, there's a smell. So y'all just wasn't going to send nobody, but y'all want this check for this rent.
Right.
And then once they evacuated everyone out the building, this was still episode 2. When they evacuated it was like, oh, you got to get out and go find somewhere else to stay. This is obviously a low income apartment building. Where do you think these people are going to go at such last minute?
They didn't care.
And they've been telling you all. They have been telling you all for months. Ain't no AC working. It's just stinky up in there. When they walked in, he had that dead body just laying on the floor. Or was that with Conrad?
That was with
Conrad. Yeah. So just the vat of blood, just the head in the refrigerator, just all of this stuff. Just the show. If y'all want to go,
because it was a low income,
they didn't care.
They did not care because it was a predominantly black, low income,
And even when the cop came in, when Conrad was there, the comment that they made when they got in the car was, or even before they went to the car, they was like, okay, my partner has to go home and take a shower. And then they got a call on their radio to go report somewhere else. And they were like, officer such and such has to go and delouse before we go. Like, are you serious? There's no need for no kind of comment like that. How about this white nigga that's killing people up in the goddamn apartment complex, and y'all smell this smell? Did they not train y'all? What are we paying you for?
Well,
to ignore us when we're like, hey, something.
I'll say this, and I've been saying this. I just feel like people should not police communities that they don't live in
because they don't care about their community.
Exactly. I think it ought to be a requirement for you to live in the community that you're going to be assigned to police.
Yep.
Now, how you make that work, I don't know, but make it work.
Right.
Because chances are the community that you police, you don't give a damn about.
Right.
So you're not going to do your best job. And they clearly did not give 0 F's.
No, they did not.
About the community that they were policing. 0.
Right. Y'all, I don't have much else to say.
Yeah.
I ain't got much else to say.
Wait. Glossing over. Okay, let's gloss over number 3 real quick.
Yeah, episode 3 was more so like
that was his first kill, right? The hitchhiker.
Yes.
Now, the hitchhiker, that one was interesting to me just because, you know, it was an accident. It was an accident, and then after that accident, then he puts the hitchhiker on the slab, so we already know what he's about to do to the hitchhiker. Right. But my question is, how do you go from the hitchhiker, he was extremely attracted to that hitchhiker, to really mostly only killing people of another race?
So, that psychologist again. He was dropping some gems, y'all. He was dropping some gems. Now he was real smart. He had some. I was like, that makes sense, Dr. White Man. But he was saying that he feels like the reason that Jeffrey was attacking men of color because he did have a type. The type that he really liked was black men. And they had to be athletically, like he wanted them to have a nice body.
Oh, really? So
he wanted them to have a nice body. So he was saying the reason why he was attacking more so as he got later on into his killing, it was because he kind of wanted to be like that. He wanted to, that's what this psychologist was saying, that he was looking at it like, man, I kind of want to be a black guy because I like how their body looks. Oh. And they're not awkward like I am. So he had that first kill, the hitchhiker. He had the first kill in his first necrophiliac moment.
Yeah.
Then after that, it was, I think they said like 9 or 10 years before he killed again.
Okay.
His mother, so his mom, so y'all know the mom and the dad divorced, and the mom took the baby, the little boy, her youngest son, with her, and Jeffrey was kind of like with the dad or whatever, because I don't think she really even cared for Jeffrey either.
Oh no, you could tell by the way she left and how she went off on him.
Yeah. So the mother told the psychologist, because the psychologist was like, well, or the psychiatrist, I don't know the man's title, and that's just how much like I care, but I don't. So the man was saying that the mom had came to him because the guy asked like, well, how did he hold his urges in for so long? Like he, did the first one, and then it was a large gap before he just went on this rampage. The mom said that Jeffrey had admitted to her that what he would do to satisfy those urges and those cravings, he would go to men's funerals. He would look and see who died. He would go to their funeral service. He would go do the whole thing, the whole funeral, the burial. And then he would come back. He would dig up their graves, and he would have sex with the bodies.
Jesus.
So he had did that for years. Because it was a question on, was he killing to kill, or was he killing for another reason? And the answer that the doctor had gave was he was killing because, once again, dead people would not make fun of him. So it wasn't about killing the person. It was about, I need a dead body to socialize with and to have sex with, because that's what I enjoy, and I don't want to keep digging up graves. I want to like try to socialize a little bit, but I need the body more so than the person, the soul, the mind, the spirit. I just need the body, and I need the body to be dead for me to have sex with. So to hold off on his or to satisfy his urges, he would do that. He would go to people's funerals. He would hang out there, and he would later on dig up their body, and he would have sex with the body.
Now let me ask you this, and let me ask y'all this, and you can email us your answer at thenosyhenspodcast@gmail.com.
So hard.
But say that Dahmer was born in our generation. Okay. So now he is in this age, at the age he was when he started doing that. Mm-hmm. But there's sex dolls, and there's like really realistic sex dolls that you can buy. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he would have, or if he knew that he had the option, he would have bought a black male sex doll?
No.
Why not?
I think he needed actual flesh.
But they make them really realistic. They make them like that's almost skin.
Yeah, but he wanted flesh. He wanted skin. Because of course he started eating them too.
Yeah, then he was killing also to kill. Yeah. He was killing also to kill and get his rocks off.
Yeah. Oh, another thing with him eating the flesh, he was saying those people are a part of him because, that the whole thing with the table. He was like, me and my friends were together because I ate them, so they're a part of my body. Weird. But I don't think a doll would have satisfied him. He needed flesh. Like, he needed actual
Then
human.
Why didn't he just keep on going to funerals?
Because
people die every day.
Because it stopped satisfying him. His urges got to the extreme, just like with Albert Fish.
Then
because that man was like, "Oh, I'm doing all of this. Let's see what
he was playing like. Evil."
Yeah,
and that's what I want to say.
Yeah,
that Jeffrey Dahmer was evil. There's no amount of whatever happened in his childhood that it wasn't even that bad compared to other childhoods that have been, for him to come out and be like he was. So that's the reason why I am annoyed with this series for them showing this, just because they don't change the fact. Okay, he was a kid and he liked playing with dead things.
Yep.
It don't change the fact that he grew up to be a damn monster,
right?
Who did horrific things, and y'all are bringing back, like you told me, bringing back terrible memories for the family members.
The families or for the people that were involved. The whole thing with Conorak, there was a girl, the girl that actually like went to her mom and was like, or went to her aunt and was like, "There's a little boy outside." She had, I guess it was a documentary that they had did before, but it was a young woman that said she was outside and she saw a kid that looked about her age. So I think she was probably about 13 or 14. And she said she saw a kid running down the street and he had blood like kind of on him. And she was like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And they called the cops. The cops came. Her aunt, Niecy Nash's character, her aunt was like, because she had played the actual call.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the call that they did on the series was a reenactment, but it was similar to what the real call was.
Right.
So when the girl was trying to tell the cops what was going on, they kind of were like, "Hey, we'll like trying to shut her up." Mm-hmm. And then she went up to her aunt to tell them what was going on. And then came back downstairs. When she came back downstairs, the boy was gone and the cops were gone. And so the aunt, Niecy Nash, the aunt had called and was like, "Yeah, I'm calling about or it was a squad car 68. It was a little boy that was on." They was like, "Oh, that wasn't a little boy." They were like hurrying up and trying to shut her up. Mm-hmm. I did not like that. You didn't even look to see anything. Like they did at one point in the movie ask about ID, but then he was like, "Oh no, it's my boyfriend. I have pictures." Never showed an ID.
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh, he lost it," and they took his word for it. That's why they did not care.
They didn't. And the way that they were just like pushing, because she was like, "Are you sure that wasn't a kid?" Are you? And no, ma'am, it's taken care of. It was a boyfriend thing.
Yep.
Like it just
screw them.
After a while, it was just kind of like, why are we still talking about Dahmer? Like, it's it's just one of those things. And then also, I think he may have said it earlier. I think both of his parents knew that he was killing people. Mm-hmm. I think they both knew that he was killing people. It just didn't know how to really address it, but I think they knew.
It didn't know how to address it.
Yeah.
Kiss my arse. If my kid is killing people, well, I'm sorry, son or daughter, you're going to jail, and hopefully you'll also get mental help while you're at it.
That. Well, we all know that in the end, that nigga went to jail, and then this other black dude killed him and this other man, beat them to death in jail. But yeah, y'all, it's if y'all want to watch it, go watch it. But it's the same either way. Whether it's a documentary, a docuseries, a miniseries, a limited series, a series of unfortunate events.
I just don't like the dramatization of it. Maybe if it had been a documentary and it went into, how his childhood was, fine. But the dramatization of it, because that little boy is so cute.
Yeah.
It's just pissing me off.
Yeah. It's, like you said, it humanizes him. So you can be like, oh, he had a sad beginning.
No wonder he killed all those black people and nobody cared.
Right. So, y'all, I ain't got nothing else to say. That's all I have. Ain't got no more.
Real quick, though. I saw a quick video about Tracy that, after Tracy survived all of this, he went on to... You're loud as a mug.
Sorry. Sorry. They know we drinking coffee.
But yeah, but Tracy, he did not get the mental help that he needed, so he lived the rest of his life traumatized.
Yeah.
He was hooked on drugs. After that, he got homeless. He just had a terrible life after that. Mm-hmm. And showcase that.
Yeah.
Showcase that.
Yeah. The families that are affected by this.
Right.
Because they probably don't even really, they probably don't know for sure. Because they had bones.
Yeah. It was bones. It was just mixed. They were the same bones in different boxes, but mixed up all together.
Right. And they just know that it was 16 to 17 people or something that he had killed. But
So rest in peace to all of his victims.
Yeah.
No rest in peace to Jeffrey Dahmer.
No.
I don't care.
Me either. Okay, guys. So, yeah, that's all we're going to say about that white man. Please stop glamorizing. Please stop glamorizing murderers.
Right.
We've done it for, ever.
It's stupid.
Yeah. So he has killed a lot of people, and a lot of those were people of color, and we already are traumatized by waking up in the morning. Okay. We wake up and like, oh Lord, please let the cop just drive on past me. Oh Lord, please let me not be diagnosed with high blood pressure. Like we already waking up with trauma. Okay. So I don't want no more black people trauma. I'm sorry. I don't want to see another black people trauma movie. I don't want to see another black people trauma, nothing. But white people too. Y'all shouldn't want to be traumatized by shit that y'all go through either. Break generational curses. How about that?
That part.
How about that? Let's stop being traumatized. That's why we all walking around with fucking depression, and we anxious, and we can't sleep, and we're overweight, and we're angry at everything because we wake up and it's literally trauma. We go to the goddamn job and the boss is like, trauma. I'm sick of it.
I'm not laughing I'm laughing because it's true.
I'm sick of it. It made me potty mouth on this. I got a potty mouth, but I try not to potty mouth as much on this show. But y'all potty mouth me today. Damn Dahmer. And his damn family, they just didn't care. They was just like, oh, he killed him. Well, do you know if my last name was Dahmer, I'd be going to change my name tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, I have a different name tomorrow.
Why, you guys? Why is she like this?
A whole different name.
Yeah,
I'll change my name to Turtle.
Turtle.
Okay. Cause you wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare.
So anyways, we might come back to y'all with episodes 3 or 4 through 6.
You know what, guys? Those are lies, cause I'm not watching anymore. I'm sorry.
Why did you make me do this then?
Sorry. I wanted to make my contribution. And I wanted my contribution to be different from everyone else's contribution. I wanted Jazz to join me as well on this journey of contributions.
Drug me into this crap.
But y'all, this what y'all getting. Look, I'm done. I'm done with Dahmer. I cannot.
Well, if you guys want to finish it, Dahmer is on Netflix now.
Go watch it.
And thanks for joining us on this very different episode of the Nosy Hens podcast.
Yes. Oh, guys, we have some other projects coming up. We'll be announcing that, I guess, soon.
Super soon.
Yes. So we have some things coming up that we want you guys to enjoy.
Be a part of. Support.
Hopefully we'll be getting into planning merch and things so that you guys can have a lice or air punch tee or hoodie or whatever merchandise we decide to put on out there for you to support us with. Yeah. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us every Friday in this little here chicken coop.
Yes. And if you can't get enough of us, just hang out with us on Instagram and Twitter and all those fun things at the Nosy Hens podcast.
Yes, we're working on a YouTube, not video. Y'all just still gonna hear our voices on a nice YouTubes until we can do videos and show our faces. Until then, just keep on listening to us. But we are trying to work on a YouTube channel. There is one, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there, guys, but we're working on it. It's so hard. So hard. But we appreciate you. Share it with your mama. Share it with your uncle. Share it with your little baby's cousins, next door neighbors, auntie, sister. Share it with everybody.
Do what she said.
Yes. We love you guys.
Peace out.